Hello YouTube! Welcome to the HPA's book tag. For those who don't know, the HPA is the Harry Potter Alliance, which is an organization that I am a huge fan of, and I was tagged by Lauren Bird, who's adorable, and if you don't already watch her videos, you should. So, what was your favorite book growing up? Well, I've talked about this a lot on my channel, but I was a huge Babysitter's Club and Goosebumps fan. Those books definitely had the biggest influence on my childhood. When I got a little bit older though, once I sort of started outgrowing those books, I really got into the Georgia Nicholson books. Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging was probably my favorite book in high school. They were so funny. They still are. Sometimes I go back and reread them when I'm having a bad day or something. And the narrator, Georgia, is just so funny. I can't even explain what it is exactly about her personality that I love so much, but these books are just hilarious. What is the best lesson that you've ever learned from a book? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I learned from books, especially, honestly, from Babysitter's Club books. I learned a lot about how to be a good friend and how to start your own business. Looking back over everything that I've ever absorbed from books, the best lesson that I've ever learned was probably not to try to take on a troll by yourself. 3 11-year-olds though, that should probably do it. What would your dream library look like? Oh man, I have dreamt of this a lot. I mean, personally, like in a realistic sense, I've always just wanted that quintessential room with ceiling to floor bookshelves and a little comfy overstuffed chair. Just a room like that in my house just for me. But if we're talking dream library, I would probably just get a gigantic room and just fill it with pillows, and then there would be lots of things to clip those little directional lamps to, you know what I mean? The kind that you can like clip on and then point exactly where you need it so you can put it like right at your book. Wait, pillows might not actually be as comfortable as I'm thinking that they are. Maybe beanbag chairs. Yes, beanbag chairs, and then there'd be vending machines that only dispense my favorite snacking foods. So like dried banana chips and pizza. If you could be any fictional character from a book, who would it be? I'd probably pick Claudia Kishi from the Babysitter's Club because that girl ate so much candy and her complexion always looked amazing, and that is a superpower. What is your favorite fictional food? I thought about this one a lot, and I think I'm going to go with the everlasting gobstopper because first of all, who wouldn't want one? But second of all, there's a lot of fictional foods out there that all sound delicious, but this is the only one that lasts forever. Also, the second one isn't a fictional food, but I thought that it was important to point out that the food that I thought sounded the most delicious from any book that I ever read was the Cherries Jubilee from Dealing with Dragons. I always wanted to eat it when I was reading that book. It sounds so good. What fictional book from Harry Potter would you most like to read? I would personally really love to read one of Gilderoy Lockhart's books. Wouldn't you? Knowing what we know about Gilderoy Lockhart and how all of his stories were basically a sham, I think it would be fascinating to go back and actually read one to see what exactly it was that made the middle-aged women of the wizarding world go weak at the knees for a little bit. Looking through the titles, I think Holidays with Hags is probably at the top of my list because he makes it sound like he literally spent his Christmas with a bunch of hags, and I want to know why, and I want to know what happened, and it just sounds really interesting. J.K. Rowling, get on that. Honestly, I think this whole series could be written and would do really well, and the fact that it hasn't been done yet is sort of a missed opportunity. Books you are planning on donating to Accio Books and why? I mentioned earlier that I loved the Georgia Nicholson books, and I have a bunch of them lying around, so I think that I'm gonna make myself part with them and donate them. I honestly will probably go replace my copies eventually because I love going back and reading these books, but they brought me so much joy. I just think these books were a really positive force in my life in high school, and I want to share that with someone else. I'm gonna tag a couple of people to also make this video if they want to. I think I'll tag Poland Bananas 20 and Kaylee Hyde because they both also have book channels. Of course, anybody watching can do this book tag. It's a really great way to talk about books. Maybe you'll even use it as your inspiration for making your first video on YouTube, who knows? Also, more importantly, everyone is of course encouraged to participate in the Accio Books book drive. I'm gonna put more information down to that below so you can go check out what the HPA is doing. They're awesome people, and I definitely recommend that you support them. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your favorite childhood books in the comments below, or any of your answers to any of these questions, and I will see you next time.